the Salvation Army involves working to better the lives of those less fortunate and lots of moving. Salvation Army commanders go from location to location whenever they're needed.
Tulsa Salvation Army has two new leaders who are coming here from Knoxville, Tennessee, and continuing the family tradition of serving the community. Tonight's Positively Oklahoma is about two of Oklahoma's newest residents.
Tulsa is a big, small town.
Captain Dan Nelson and his wife Major Sarah Nelson have been running the Salvation Army Tulsa Area Command for a little over a month, and they've already learned about the Oklahoma standard.
Neighbors care for neighbors and want to care for neighbors.
Known as Captain Dan and Major Sarah, these two have been married 15 years.
Both of us were connected with the Salvation Armies in the communities where we were, and found each other that way.
And complement each other very well.
We had common
friends
and
and
experiences, and
relationships,
so we
yeah.
met.
These two have never not known the Salvation Army and its mission of doing the most good by feeding, clothing, comforting, and caring for those with broken lives. It's something their families have been doing for generations. Captain Dan's great-grandparents were connected with the Salvation Army after migrating from Sweden. So were the next two generations.
Music was a big part of our family, and so it's a big part of the Salvation Army too, brass bands in particular.
One of Dan's most prized possessions is this picture of him playing a plastic cornet, standing next to his father.
So it does sort of show the generational influence of the brass music that's sort of been handed down through the generations.
Major Sarah can also trace her family's involvement back for generations.
4 generations of Salvation Army officers, which is an ordained minister.
But her story involving her grandmother is a little more edgy.
Because she grew up in a household where there were 11 children, and her father was a gangster.
But not just any gangster.
Great-grandfather was associated with gangs under Al Capone. It was that whole kind of circuit.
Because of that, she says the family was always on the run. An untimely death of a sibling led to a Salvation Army officer reaching out to help the broken family.
And that was the first place where it started to occur to my grandmother that there was more to life than always running, and that she actually had value, and that she was loved, and that God had a plan for her life.
That officer's name, Captain A.O. Baker, is still special after all these years.
I'd say had he not knocked on that door, I probably wouldn't be sitting in this seat in Tulsa, Oklahoma right now.
But she is here with Captain Dan right by her side, fighting hunger and poverty during this pandemic, and raising a family that might just carry on the family tradition of service to the community.
So,
how long do you think you'll get to stay?
Let's pray at least 5
5
years.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Yeah, we hope so too. Major Sarah says for the first time in her professional life, she's in the same city with her sister and her brother-in-law. They are pastors in charge of a local Salvation Army church.
Oh, wow.
So they get to see each other. They're 20 minutes away.
What an incredible family, too. Such dedication.
And the history going back so far. Hey, if you know somebody making a difference in our community, tell me about them. Send an email to positivelyoklahoma@kgrh.com.